On December 4, 1872, in the cold open waters of the Atlantic Ocean, a passing ship spotted something that did not make sense. The vessel ahead was upright. Her sails were raised. She cut cleanly through the water. But something was wrong. She moved without command. No crew adjusted her rigging. No captain stood at her helm. She was drifting, yet purposeful, alive, yet empty. Her name was Mary Celeste. If you're fascinated by real historical mysteries pulled straight from maritime records, make sure you subscribe now. Because tonight, we are opening a case that has remained unsolved for more than 150 years. The Mary Celeste was a merchant brigantine, originally built in Nova Scotia in 1861 under the name Amazon. She wasn't famous. She wasn't experimental. She was a working cargo ship, designed for routine Atlantic crossings. Over the years, she survived storms, ownership changes, and financial hardship. By 1872, she was under the command of Captain Benjamin Briggs, an experienced and respected American sea captain known for discipline and caution. On November 7, 1872, the Mary Celeste departed New York Harbor bound for Genoa, Italy. On board were Captain Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and 7 carefully selected crew members. The cargo consisted of 17 one-barrels of industrial alcohol, highly flammable, volatile, but common for commercial trade. Another ship, the Dei Gratia, left New York around the same time, captained by David Morehouse. The two captains reportedly knew each other. They would unknowingly become forever linked in maritime history. For nearly a month, the Atlantic swallowed both ships into its vast gray silence. Then came December 4th. Roughly 400 nautical miles east of the Azores, sailors aboard the Dei Gratia spotted a vessel behaving strangely. Through a spyglass, Captain Morehouse recognized the name painted on her stern, Mary Celeste. But something was deeply wrong. The ship moved erratically. Her sails were partially set. No signal flags flew. No response came from the deck. A boarding party crossed the waters between them. What they discovered was not chaos. It was something far more unsettling. The cargo was largely intact. The ship carried months' worth of food and fresh water. Personal belongings remained in cabins. Clothing hung in wardrobes. The captain's papers were gone, along with the ship's sextant and chronometer. The lifeboat was missing. The last entry in the captain's log was dated November 25th, placing the vessel near Santa Maria Island in the Azores. There were no signs of struggle, no blood, no overturned furniture, no burn marks, no visible damage suggesting collision or attack. 10 people had vanished from a seaworthy ship. Imagine standing on that deck, the wind cutting across the Atlantic, knowing that a family with a child had been there only days before. Their tea cups still in place, their bunks still made. News of the discovery exploded across newspapers in Britain and the United States. Theories multiplied instantly. Mutiny was the first accusation. Perhaps the crew turned on Captain Briggs, murdered him and his family, and fled. But if so, why abandon a perfectly good ship and valuable cargo? Piracy was suggested, yet pirates do not leave behind alcohol worth thousands of dollars, nor do they carefully avoid taking valuables from officers' quarters. Insurance fraud became another rumor. Some even suggested Captain Morehouse himself might have orchestrated foul play to claim salvage rights. The British Admiralty Court in Gibraltar launched an official inquiry. Suspicion lingered heavily in the air, but no evidence of violence could be found. Then came a more scientific explanation. The cargo of industrial alcohol was volatile. In later experiments conducted in the 20th century, researchers demonstrated that alcohol fumes leaking from barrels could accumulate in the hold and cause powerful pressure blasts. These explosions could create loud concussive booms without leaving obvious burn marks. It is possible that Captain Briggs heard such an explosion below deck and believed the ship was about to erupt in flames. Picture the moment. A thunderous boom from beneath your feet. The smell of fumes. The uncertainty. A captain responsible for his wife and small daughter. Briggs may have ordered the crew into the lifeboat temporarily, intending to remain tethered to the ship by rope until danger passed. But in rough Atlantic swells, a single snapped line would have been fatal. The lifeboat, lightly built and low to the water, could have drifted away helplessly while the Mary Celeste, still seaworthy, sailed on without them. It is a plausible explanation. Yet weather reports from late November 1872 show no catastrophic storms. The ship held only about 3 feet of water in her bilge, common for vessels of that era. Her pumps were functional. Her hull was intact. So why abandon ship? Some historians believe faulty navigation instruments might have led Briggs to misjudge his position. He may have feared running aground on unseen reefs. Others suggest a waterspout or rogue wave could have temporarily frightened the crew. But again, no structural damage supports extreme weather. The mystery deepened because of what was not found. No bodies ever surfaced. No confirmed wreckage of the lifeboat was discovered. No final message. No farewell note. Just silence. The Mary Celeste herself continued sailing after her discovery. She was repaired and returned to service under new ownership. But her reputation followed her like a shadow. Sailors whispered about her name. Owners struggled to keep her profitable. In 1885, more than a decade later, she met her final end. Her captain at the time deliberately ran her aground near Haiti in an attempted insurance fraud scheme. The plan failed. The ship was abandoned and eventually destroyed by natural forces. Even in death, controversy surrounded her. But the true mystery was already sealed long before that. What happened between November 25th and December 4th, 1872? 10 human beings stepped from solid deck into open sea. A disciplined captain made a decision that cost every life aboard. The Atlantic, vast and indifferent, offered no explanation. If you've made it this far, comment below with the theory that convinces you most. Was it fumes? Panic? A snapped lifeline in rough waters? Or something simpler that history failed to record? And if you want more real maritime mysteries, lost ships, sealed naval records, unexplained disappearances, make sure you like this video and subscribe. Because the ocean holds more than just water, it holds stories that were never meant to be solved. The Mary Celeste remains one of the most documented ghost ships in history precisely because she was found intact. Not burned. Not sunk, not shattered by cannon fire, just empty, her compass still mounted, her cargo still stacked, her galley prepared for a meal that would never be eaten. History gives us dates and coordinates. It gives us testimony and speculation. But sometimes history stops short of truth. Beyond that line lies only open water. And somewhere in the gray Atlantic between New York and Genoa, the Mary Celeste slipped quietly from fact into legend. Because the sea does not need witnesses, and sometimes it does not return them.